everyone. Welcome to the latest episode Out for a Duck, a podcast with the consistency that matches the English Cricket Board management. Joining me today is Abid. How are you doing today?
Assalamu alaikum, Jazib. I'm well. How are you?
Good, good. So, with the Pakistan-England series today, I thought it'll be good for us to talk a little bit about our thoughts of the series. But before we get into that, let's talk about the Bangladesh and Australia match. So, for reference, we're recording this at the end of the day's three play. Australia is still trailing by 67 runs with only 6 wickets in hand. What a performance by Bangladesh.
Yeah, I think they're going to make history, inshallah, tomorrow. I don't think it's going to go. I don't think it's going to get into the fifth day. It might, maybe one session, but generally speaking, Bangladesh is far ahead of the game, and they really have to pull a Pakistan to lose it from here. Uh, what I mean is given extra 150, concede 150 runs and then get out for under 100. That seems very unlikely. They have very solid batting lineup now, and Mehdi I think comes at 7 or 8, and he's always a big contributor, and everybody above him. I mean, Litton Das failed this last innings. He doesn't fail many times in a row. So I do think that they have it in the bag, and I'm really happy for them, and they deserve it, because the last time they played in Australia, I don't know how long ago that was, but it was
20
quite
plus years.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Very embarrassing for them, and the Australians are like, don't come back for a while. So there's a good response, and very happy for them.
So, part of it is definitely a reflection of how far Bangladesh has come as a cricket team, and the way this group of players are shaping up, especially the fast bowlers. Also, keeping in mind, they're also missing one or two of their top first
Yeah,
choice
he's not
bowlers.
playing. Rahat's not playing. Yeah,
Naheed Rana. But part of this,
Naheed
I
Raina,
also
sorry.
think,
Yeah,
yeah, part of this, I think, I feel there is a general decline in the Australian cricket team. It's been masked by Steve Smith and being masked by a fantastic bowling lineup. But if you look at their top 6, 7, it's been a general decline over the last 4 or 5 years. And I think England should be kicking themselves. They had a really good opportunity in the Ashes that happened earlier in the year, and they didn't capitalize on it.
they blew it. I think their fast bowling. Batting. Australia showed this kind of in innings against England also once or twice during the series. So they are prone to failures, the batting order, but the bowling. This was the surprising part for me. I mean, never did England in those 5 matches, maybe the one they won, but aside from that, they hardly ever did the bowling fail, and they always got 20 wickets in a test, except that one they lost. But it's an aging bowling attack. That can be, you can put it down to that, and it basically just happens like there's a series where you realize that it's an aging bowling attack, and just the series before that they had done well. So I mean that's how it happens a lot of times. So I think I put it down to the bowling attack not being able to be effective against a team that's not used to the bouncy. Then again, Darwin is not the bounciest of tracks, also, right?
Not fast
So
track.
it's a good start, good place to start. Usually, Australia starts their first Test match in Perth to give you a real flavor
To be
of the
shocked the
bouncy
system.
tracks. But this time,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
shock to
I'm
the
going to
system.
slightly
This time they
disagree
started.
there. As in the bowling didn't do fantastic, but I think it's a very flat wicket, doesn't have the traditional bounce, and maybe because it's the first match of the season for them. I think batting is what lets them down, not only in this match, but consistently over the last 12, 18, 24 months. Um, their obsession,
But they won
the
despite
end,
that. They have won despite that, right? I mean,
yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the bowling has been what's been carrying them. I still think this bowling tech, agreed, it's aging, but it's still a fantastic. So Hazelwood is probably the weak link coming in, and there's a lot of question versus Boland versus Hazelwood. But Hazelwood ended up taking 6 wickets.
Yeah.
Maybe the others weren't as sharp as it. But right, moving on to the Pakistan England series, a lot of happening in England cricket as well. With Joe Root coming back as captain. So first of all, I'm curious, what do you think about Joe Root back as captain?
Um, I think Joe Root. I'm not sure about his average, but the impression that I have is that when he was captain, his average did drop, and we've had many cricketers like that. It happened to Sachin Tendulkar, also like in my sort of younger days. There are many people who, when given the additional responsibility, don't their primary skill suffers. But I think Joe Root is kind of beyond that. I mean, he's got uh, the numbers that he has. Nobody is going to be able to touch that, for a long time. And I think that having worked with closely with Stokes and filling in for him here and there wherever Stokes was being banned, um, uh, so I feel that that management, and it was a way of doing things. It was a culture. They know that they have to now get away from baseball a little bit, and I think Joe Root is the right person. If they had put Harry Brook as captain, I would have been happier being a Pakistani, because he's less wise, and I mean it's more of the same. They leave a lot on the table by playing in a certain way, no matter what. And I think that's going to change now. We've already seen it, sort of change a little bit since Australia. So yeah, I really feel that they have their best foot forward by having Joe Root as the captain.
So I do agree with Harry Brook. He's not ready yet for test captaincy. This has probably come 2 years too early. And also, given how congested the English calendar can be, single captain across formats, I don't think is going to work for them. So leaving Harry Brook as white ball captain and not burning him with red ball at this stage, I think was it was the right solution. It was the right way forward. Um, but I think the Joe Root, the batsman, is more important than Joe Root, the captain. And his batting did suffer, although the numbers are still phenomenal. Last time he was captain, also not necessarily the most inspirational captain, at least in terms of tactics. So it'll be interesting to see now that he's a little older and wiser whether he's going to be able to juggle captaincy with his batting, because there was a sharp uptick in his batting. Part of that was the baseball effect, and part of it was that he was relieved of the captaincy duties. I remember before he stepped down as captain last time around, he was at a stretch of one win out of 17 games.
I
So
remember.
that was a pretty dark period. But England sort of cornered themselves a little bit by not planning very well ahead, and also how they managed the whole Stokes incident that led to him sort of retiring. As in, you
Yeah.
think how much they invested into the Ashes and the way it turned out, something had to give. But then on top of that, when you had this nightclub incident that happened after the first Test match against New Zealand, their handling of the Stokes situation was poor. I'm pretty sure it became very obvious in the first 12 hours to them that Stokes was nowhere near the incident. So his only infraction was ignoring the team
Curfew.
curfew.
Yeah.
They could have dealt with that immediately, whatever the sanction was, even if that was a one Test match ban. The fact that they let it linger for 2 weeks and saying that it's going to go through, I don't know what disciplinary committee and all that,
Yeah.
and the scrutiny that around it, and the media, and talking about whether the relationship between ECB and Stokes and McCullum has degraded, I think that was very poorly managed. So Gus Atkins, I can understand, because they had to take a little bit of time to figure it out, because he was in the middle of it, so they needed to take a little bit of time to figure out the facts. But the way they managed Stokes, it was poor, and that I think contributed to him retiring. This England team with Stokes at the helm, possibly with Fleming coming in as a coach, would have been a much as a Pakistani. I'm glad Stokes is not there. Very happy
Yeah.
Fleming is not joining now,
Yeah.
and I
The
don't
balance
mind
of the
seeing.
side also changes without Stokes, right? I mean, you lose a frontline bowler,
Yeah,
and on his day, like one of the best batters in the team also, right? So
yeah.
the balance changes. No, I do. I believe that it went against the baseball way of things, having curfews, because baseball was about, what you need to do, train yourself, literally prepare, do your own prep, There were hardly any team drills. It was all about paying individual attention to what you need, and if you feel that you need to go to bed at 6 p.m., go to bed at 6 p.m. If you feel that you need to go to bed at 8, and so then having a curfew of midnight, I don't know, it went against like the grain, and all those guys, Stokes gives the impression that he's a bit of a, you know let's say, he likes to celebrate, and they had just won, they just beaten New Zealand,
Yeah.
uh, nobody, I mean, not any pundit I have heard say that Stokes was, what he did was a mistake, and he shouldn't have done that. Nobody's Atherton, Hussain, all these guys are saying that it's a childish rule to have,
Yeah.
and then to implement it.
I think it goes to a broader point that the McCullum way of working worked very well when you had players like Broad, Anderson, Stokes, Root, the guys who've been playing international cricket for 10, 15 years, who know their games inside out, who know what they need in order to best prepare themselves for the game next day rather than being told. And that team evolved with Anderson retiring, Broad retiring, Bairstow being dropped, Ollie Pope being. Suddenly, you have people who've been around for 2, 3, 4 years,
Yeah,
very young players, and you saw with the latitude they got what they were doing in Australia with the trip in Noosa, and then with
yeah,
the white ball captain Brooke getting punched in the face by a bouncer the night before a game. So
yeah,
something had to give. That level of latitude only works if you have players who are mature enough, who know their game well enough that they know that I've got a game tomorrow, and they have the discipline to say 10 o'clock, lights out. That's
yeah.
the best for me. Um, but yeah, so now interesting times ahead. Fleming coming
Do you
in,
think the
but not.
Pakistani team has a curfew, and do you think they abide by it?
I think it probably varies a lot by management. I'm pretty sure they would have some rules because it's been a while since we had an incident, but there have been incidents in the past where players have been caught out, and but it's been a while since they've come in the
No,
news for the wrong
exactly.
reasons.
I think since this lot, Shoaib Akhtar, Asif,
Yeah.
uh, I think Asif was the last of such creative celebrators that we had in the team. And
Yeah.
since they left, I don't think we've heard of anything. And now with social media, everybody's got a camera in their hand. It's not because of the fact that they're not getting caught. It's because they're not doing it. In my opinion, I mean, I could
Yeah,
have
yeah, I
egg
agree.
on my face, and in the first after the first match, they're
Yeah.
caught doing something. But yeah, so this is a very interesting, kind of mindset. Um, Most of them are married. Most of them bring their wives along, and most of them like come from very sort of conservative households. So and unfortunately, it hasn't paid off on the cricket
On the
pitch,
field.
right? On the
Yeah.
cricket
You need
fields.
the assets in the Shoaib Akhtar.
Yeah, you need a bit of fire. I have high hopes for Sajid. Maybe he's a little bit of a, you know, celebrator. Let's just
Well,
call
he
him
has a
that.
very humble background, by the way. There was some interview recently where he was talking about he was so used to getting dropped that he now takes it in his stride when he doesn't get selected. So came
Yeah.
across as someone who was
He, yeah, he was
mature.
working in Dubai, not I think a blue collar job,
Yeah.
and his mother is like, come back and try out for cricket. Um, yeah,
Usually
yeah.
it's the other way around. Pakistani parents के पढ़ो बैठ के नौकरी करो ये cricket छोड़ो.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, and he's very grateful to his mother. But I mean, a lot of them. Shoaib Akhtar also came from a very humble background. Wasim Akram came from a very humble background.
Yeah.
Um, you know, but they managed to spread their wings, and fly a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So now coming to the Pakistan team, thoughts as in do we have a chance?
I don't know, man. We are the kind of country after one test victory, we think. I mean, I saw a show where they were discussing Pakistan's path to the World Championship final. I was like, okay, but so yeah. I mean, look, they played win. A win is a win. They got a win under their belt. Their first win in I think 10 Test matches outside of Pakistan. This is so kind of like what England was facing. We've also lost a few at home. We've lost three to Bangladesh, one to South Africa, one to West Indies, and one to England, of course, in the past couple of years. So there's a lot of losses. I mean, in general, and then losses abroad were just a given. So and Bangladesh, I think, was a big shock. It shouldn't have been, but it was a big shock to everyone, and nobody could believe it that we lost two tests in a row
Yeah.
over there. But Bangladesh, obviously, now at least we were slightly vindicated because those guys are beating Australia. So we
Yeah.
lost to a very good team, a very competitive team. I mean, you saw that they went did a mental game with Rizwan and all of that. So very mentally strong, experienced uh, side that is very well balanced. So we lost to that kind of a side. And then in the West Indies, we lost the first Test match. Again, we do that. We have some people say we have one session in a match. I think we literally had that in both the innings. Usually, it's only in one innings where we're doing well, and then we collapse, we lose the wickets, and we lose the advantage. And but the good thing is the 20 wickets, right? The good thing is that we are getting 20 wickets. We got them both in both the Test matches. For this was not happening before. This was not happening in Bangladesh. Of course, the wickets were different, and without the traps that we lay in the grounds in Pakistan, in the pitches in
Yeah.
Pakistan, um, we weren't doing it in Pakistan also. So
Yeah.
this is a very good sign. But the batting is very brittle. I don't know if you want to discuss the team specifically, or do you just want to discuss
No, we'll go into the
the
team as well. I'll just add my thoughts as then we go to the 11. The good thing is, I think that we're coming off the back of a decent amount of red ball cricket. Typically, we go from T20 straight into test matches without any warm up games. Here we had the West Indies series. We played two test matches. We played a warm up game before that as well. We're playing a warm up game now here in UK. We're coming in with about 5-6 weeks of red ball cricket. We've also, at least with our bowling, have gone with red ball specialists. Abbas, Mohammad Ali, Ubaid is new, but he played a little bit of domestic cricket coming in. Khurram Shahzad, rather than the Shaheens and the Seam. So that is, in that sense, is positive. And what I hope works in our favour is that England coming off a buffet of white ball. They haven't played county. The county championship was paused since the end of June, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
They've been playing the 100. They've been playing white ball cricket, and the players who come into in the English squad are going to come without any red ball games. Some of them are going to have played those who were in the knockout stages of the 100, whose teams have made it to the knockout stages of the 100, will be coming off straight after playing 100. Hopefully, that means we can at least in the first match catch them off guard. Having said that, if you look at our test team and the results over the last 24 months or so, there is obviously a very visible decline. Whether or not we have the personnel to actually challenge England over an entire series, we might win the odd session here and there. Abbas has a fantastic session, or one of our batters bats out of the skin. I see it very difficult for us to win the series, or I see it nigh impossible. If we can win a match, if we can somehow draw the series, I'll be very happy.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are three Test matches. Leeds is traditionally a very, very sort of it favors seam and swing bowling. So I foresee a low scoring match there. In a low scoring match, um, Pakistan can have the edge. It can happen. Um, um, then Lords, if it was there was a match played against New Zealand, the famous game that hardly lasted like 2 days or whatever, right?
Yeah.
3 day, within well within 3 days it was finished.
Yeah.
Now that if it was early winter, it was early summer, so maybe there's that factor, and usually early it swings a lot more.
Yeah.
But if it's anything similar to that, but they got a lot of flack for it, so I'm thinking
Yeah.
that it's not going to be like that, right? So it's going to be more balance between bat and ball. And the last match is in Birmingham, I think.
I think so. Yeah. Birmingham.
Yeah.
Not Old
So
Trafford.
no, not Old Trafford. What's the ground in Birmingham called?
It's not.
I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah. Trent Bridge.
Trent Bridge, right?
Yeah.
Now that is usually a bat over ball. Like you need to get someone out. It's not like just you can't rely on the swing, natural the conditions only. So where that happens, so basically what I'm saying is that where it's going to be a low scoring game, uh, Pakistan may uh, may edge out. But where there's more balance, I think Pakistan will struggle because these guys, the openers. I mean, Azan is a good young prospect, but his technique seems the ball that's coming into him seems to have an issue with it. Imam, I don't know about Imam. I mean, my uh, like in England, openers are very, very important, right? Your top three are very important. So Imam, for example, has always shown some, he's gritty and all, but his technique again is something that I'm not confident about. And now we're talking about 10, 12 years after he started playing cricket.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Of course, Babar is solid, and in England he always does well. So if he comes in at number three, that's fine. Shan, whatever. I don't want to go through the team yet. What I'm saying is that I'm not. The reason I say I worry is the openers thing is not sorted in our yet. Abdullah had a good test match, so
Yeah.
maybe he comes in the opener slot, and I'm more confident about him than I am about Imam or
Yeah.
Hazan.
Azan.
But yeah, so there's that question mark.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, before
batting,
we go into the 11, my just a reflection on the grounds between that series against New Zealand versus now, UK has gone through a record heat spell. So my, as in we won't know until I guess when they do the pitch report. My feeling is that Headingley, even though historically has been known to be a seam bowler friendly pitch, I think because of this heat spell that they've gone through, it might do a bit on the first morning, but it's going to dry up very quickly. As in with the UK with the grounds how they've rebuilt them to with excellent drainage that works against them when there isn't an all rain. The grounds historically then tend to dry up very quickly and the pitch starts to break up. What I'm hoping here is if you
very
look
good
at
point.
the squad that England selected, I think they're going to go with four seamers, at least for the first two matches, with Dan Lawrence coming in at number six as a spin bowling all-rounder. And I'm hoping that works in our favor. They only have Shoaib Bashir in any case. They don't
Yeah.
have a lot of spin bowling depth. I hope it works in our favor with the wickets crack up or dry up and become flatter quicker. And that's maybe when our bowlers might have a little bit of an edge.
I wonder why Rehan doesn't get a go. Rehan Ahmed, I mean, he's a better, he's like almost like a full batsman,
Yeah,
and like he gave Pakistan a run for their money when our spinners couldn't do anything in Karachi. I remember I was actually
yeah,
watching that match live. So I wonder why he doesn't get a go. Shoaib Bashir is finger spinner. Um, and in a team, okay, we have a lot of left-handers, but still, uh, I wonder about that. I'm not happy. Like for Rihan, I'm not very happy about the selection. For Pakistan, I'm happy because I know we have a problem against leg spin.
yeah,
But yeah, so so if we're going to go by your logic
yeah.
that the wickets are going to be drier, that means that there has to be one spinner at least in every game, even Headingley.
I would, as in, we won't know until we do the see the pitch report. I was
Yeah,
trying to look
yeah,
at any recent games that were played at Leeds. there hasn't been any first class fixture since end of June over there. Since then, it's just been white ball cricket being played at Leeds. So it's difficult to know without the pitch report they do on day one, on the 18th. My guess is going to be that even if they do leave a generous amount of grass on it, because the weather has been so dry and so hot, it might nip around for the first 1, 2 sessions. After that, it's going to become quite flat quite quickly, and
So
maybe
you
towards
win the toss, you bowl first.
I'm always more of a bat first kind of guy. Pakistan
Yeah, same here.
doesn't chase very well, but ride out the first 2 sessions, and after that, I think it'll flatten up very quickly and maybe crack up if the game goes till days 4 and 5. But let's go into our playing 11. So who are your top three?
So Abdullah is number one for me. Um, I don't know about Imam or Azan, but okay, I will go with the flair of youth, and I will go with Azan in my number two. And now I think in England Babar may drop to four, because we have, if Shan is fit, Shan is as good as anybody in the English conditions. So, in a way, protect Babar. I don't know if that's the right word, but let Babar come in when the ball is slightly older. So, so I would have Abdullah, Azan, and Shan as my top three.
No, I agree with you there. Assuming Sean is fit to play, which it
Assuming
seems like
Shan
he
is
will
fit,
be.
inshallah.
Historically I like Imam, but I think he's played what 10 odd years. We were saying earlier he has a test average of 35. I think his average drops significantly in the second innings.
Yeah, yeah. Second innings is really bad.
Yeah,
It's below sub 20, I think.
yeah.
Yeah. So when the chips are down, I mean, the guy, he, when you look at him, Salman Butt used to give me that impression. When you looked at Salman Butt, he always looked so worried. He looked like he looked like he was scared or worried that he's going to get out. And Imam gives you that same look. He doesn't
Yes.
give you the look of confidence. So I don't know what is it about him. It's, maybe just his look, or does he really feel that way?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I agree. Generally, although I'm a fan of his, but his numbers are not justifying it. What he needed was a very good West Indies series, or at least one of the matches where he scored. He scored big, and
He
he
started
scores
well.
a.
He started well. He started with a 60 odd.
Yeah.
That was a good start, but he gave it away. I mean, anyway, it is
Same with
what
the
it is.
Bangladesh series. He started well. He made a 50 odd in that first match where Azan scored a century, and I think Abdullah Fazal also then came and scored a century.
Yeah.
He got dropped for the second match, a little harshly, I guess, but that's what the management went. So he's also a little bit hard done by in the sense that he gets dropped and picked quite arbitrarily or very frequently. So it doesn't allow him to settle in. But yeah, as in right now, I think Abdullah Shafiq did such a good job in that second West Indies match, and he did that on the back of playing 2 3 months of red ball cricket. So there's
Yeah.
even though it's
And
grade two.
grade two, not even first class cricket, grade two cricket. So which means that you just need to be out there.
You need to
It
be
doesn't
out
matter
there.
what
Yeah,
level.
absolutely.
You know how they say,
Yeah,
oh, Pakistan standards aren't that
yeah,
great, and the level of competition. Yeah, it might be, that might be true, but you still
yeah,
need to go out and do it
yeah.
because it obviously makes a difference, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Our players are not good enough to go from a T20 series straight into a Test series. As in, some players can do it, Pakistani players cannot.
He was playing a T20 tournament when he was
Yeah,
called to the test match. Yeah.
but prior to that, he spent 2 months just playing
Yeah.
grade two
No, no,
cricket.
of course, of course, of course.
Yeah, yeah. So he was playing. So then I think number four, we're both aligned, Barber, and that's where his most of his career is batted. Anyways, I think there was just a couple of matches in between where they were trying to force fit him into the 11 when Kamran Ghulam was doing well. That's when Babar came in at three. But four is probably a better place for him. So who
Poor
are
guy,
your?
Kamran Ghulam. I feel so bad for him.
I
I
still
mean,
don't understand how and why he got dropped. He did nothing wrong.
he's in the squad though. I think he's in the squad if I'm not wrong.
No, no, he's not.
He's not?
No, he's playing whatever random white ball tournament they're doing right now in Pakistan.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So,
who are your four, five, six?
so now,
Oh, five, six.
now the other difficulty starts, right?
Yeah.
So basically, your 5, 6, or maybe sometimes 6, 7
Yeah.
number in England, when the new ball, they take the second new ball. If your top order has done well, you also need
Sorry, you're very
like
optimistic that we will only have lost 2 wickets by the time the second new ball comes in. But please, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, like uh, not 2 wickets, like
Okay.
4 or 5 wickets. But okay, forget that. The ball starts reversing
Yeah.
after the, especially with the heat, right? So after the 40th over, so 35th over, so ball starts reversing. This is when these guys are coming in 5, 6, 7, right? So and we've had like a horrid time in the last 6 months, maybe even longer. I haven't really looked into it, but definitely Bangladesh, definitely West Indies, um, and I don't know. Rizwan, if he looks, like out of sorts, so he looks like he doesn't belong on the cricket field anymore.
Yeah.
Keeping wasn't bad in West
He was
Indies,
he was very good
but
actually.
the yeah, I mean, they were like when he anticipated the sweep shot,
Yeah.
and did a catch on the leg side of a spinner, I think. So he's so but I mean, we don't have a choice. So Rizwan has to slot in, and Rizwan hasn't shown the capacity to bat with the tail effectively lately. So even when he scores runs, like he's not working with the tail properly.
Yeah.
The guy who's traditionally done that is totally out of form, Agha. So I would have Rizwan coming in before Agha, before Agha or anybody whoever is going to slot into that position. So I would have Rizwan at number 5.
Okay.
Um, um, we have then we have a choice between. So let's park this at number 5. Let's now. I would go 11, 10, 9, and 8 now, right? Like let's talk about the bowlers because that's more interesting. Um, did you see that Ubaid couldn't bowl over 135, generally speaking, in West Indies? What's that about? Even his first
Ner-
spell.
As first, my best guess is nerves. I hope that's not the case. That is this peak in a red ball. Because I have high hopes for him that he can actually hit the high 130s, early 140s. But yes, against West Indies, he was not able to do that. He got some balls to 137, 138, but that was about
137
it.
is the highest I saw, right?
Which even Mohammad
So
Ali reached, by the way.
yeah, yeah. So I wouldn't have him in the team.
Okay.
I would start. My number 11 would be Abbas, um, and then I would have Muhammad Ali in there,
Yeah.
number 10. Um, and now it's a matter of Khurram Shahzad, uh, and Khurram Shahzad and Ubaid, right?
But
There's one more fast bowler, right?
I guess Amr Jamal, I don't think we have
Ahmed
another
Jamal,
fast
though, I
bowler.
would all rounder. I have him in mind also. Okay, so I would have Khurram Shahzad as your third seamer,
Yeah.
and I would have, um, depending on, I think I would play with Sajid over the youngster. What's his
Not
name?
really a
I
youngster.
forget.
Ali Usman. Ali Usman.
Ali Usman. He's not a youngster.
32?
He's not a youngster.
Is new in the team, but he's 32 years old.
Ah, okay. So I would have Sajid over. He's just a character that we need in the team, I think. And I mean and he got the most wickets in the last test also. So I
Yeah.
mean, he deserves to be there. Um, and then I would have Ahmed Jamal,
Okay.
because I think that the the conditions weren't right for him in the West Indies, and he was also coming back after a long um,
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
gap in the middle, and also from like he was outcast in white ball also for a while. So I would have him at that's
Seven.
number eight, seven. Yeah,
Seven.
four bowlers and yeah, seven. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we are talking about one space left,
Maybe
right?
you would, well, unless you're thinking about in place of Aga, right?
No, no, no. So we've given you the five. I've given you the five.
Yeah.
Rizwan comes in at five,
Yes.
and I've given you seven, eight, nine, 10, 11.
So your number six is basically.
My number six.
Yes.
I would go with. So we have a choice between Agha and Saud.
Correct. And also the new guy. I'm forgetting his name.
Samir, is he there? Samir Minhas?
Hey,
Oh
Samir
no, no,
Manas. He
Abdullah
was.
Fazal, Abdullah Fazal, Abdullah. No,
Maybe Abdullah
is he
Fazal. He got injured.
injured?
There's a new bowler who played, a new batsman who played in the, who made his debut in the last match. Let me just give you his name.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Poor guy went down the wicket and got
Yeah.
yeah
Wes Zafar.
missed out. Yeah, no, no. So I will go with Saud Shakil
Okay.
on
So,
current form. I mean, Agha has been given a lot of chances.
yeah.
On current form, I will go with. We have to give Saud Shakil a chance. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I worked
So,
it. I started with the batsmen, but then I did the bowlers because I just wanted to make sure that I get the balance right.
yeah. So I think there are a couple of places where you and I differ. Not by much. So I have South Shakil at five rather than six. And then Rizwan at six.
He plays well with the tail.
He plays well with the but yeah, so either I won't be too fast who comes early. I just think with the keeper, especially if you lose early wickets, then coming in at five might be a little too much, especially if you've kept a day and a half. So that's why I'm keeping Rizwan at six. But I'm with you on the Rizwan. As and again, I'm a fan of his, but last couple of series, it's not like he's looked out of form. He's looked out of place, and that
Did
really
they
really
take
worries me.
the other keeper also with them? They took the other keeper, the Gauri guy, right?
They've taken, I think, two. They were Ghazi Gori. Is there anyone else? No, Ghazi Gori. Yes,
So I don't know how good he is.
I know nothing about
I
him.
think he got chosen for the white ball also.
Yeah.
Uh, so I have to look at his records. I mean, Leeds is not a good place for someone to start their career if they're batting, right? So I don't know, but if Rizwan fails in Leeds, then I think Ghazi Ghauri could be started in at Lords.
So Ghazi Gori has a first class average of 41.26 and three centuries. So
Yeah,
decent
there you go.
stats. Yeah,
Yeah,
not bad at all.
but I would
So
still
I'm
try
gonna.
Rizwan in Leeds. I would still try
I would
Rizwan
keep
in Leeds.
Rizwan as well. I'm counting on experience here. By the way, that's also the reason why I've Shan Masood. His average of 31 in Test match cricket is hard for me to argue that is not a reflection of his abilities. But
Yeah,
the fact that he's been playing the last 3, 4, 5 years in county cricket, even though he's played no games this year, and I was looking at the stats, last year he only played 2 games. Although he did average he averaged 100 in those 2 games. He did two centuries, I think,
yeah,
but that was only two
yeah.
games. Um, but the fact that I would have argued that once he was dropped as captain, uski jagah nahi banti. But the fact that we have this UK series
He proved
is
you
why I
wrong,
would
man.
have
He
kept
scored
him.
a century. He scored a century in the first game. He wasn't playing
Yeah, but this is
as captain.
he was dropped as captain. The squad was selected before that, right? Then after the fact, he scored the. At that time, my thought was when before the
Yeah,
West Indies series that if he's not a captain, he doesn't deserve a place in the squad. But he justified his place absolutely, and that's why I would also have him slot in at number three. But I'm largely, at least for the first match or two matches, going to go with experience. That's why I'm going to stick with Rizwan as well. Then instead of Sajid, I have Ali Usman. The only reason is because England's middle order is all right-handers. They have two left-handed openers, and they're all right-handers after that. So, which is the only reason. I do agree with you.
nah,
Sajid gives you, he brings a little more flair. I think he
yeah,
rips the ball a little bit more.
yeah.
So
You literally
he's
hear
in.
it through the air. Zzz, zzz.
Yeah,
No, so look, we've had a problem with tail, getting rid of the tail when Sajid's not playing well or when
yeah,
Sajid's not in the team. But when Sajid's in the team, and he's playing well, we've seen him take care of the tail. Amir Jamal had that reputation in Australia, uh, but inshallah, I hope so we have two people covering that thing. But it's really frustrating. Our last four get on average 8 runs. I think that's the
Yeah.
average in the last 2 years.
Yes.
Uh, and we give away about 100,
Yeah.
80 to 100, 20,
Per
25
wicket.
runs per wicket, right?
Yeah.
So that really, I mean, as if we don't have our backs against the wall anyway. We
Yeah.
add this dimension about not. So Sajid, like, is such an aggressive character. Basically, sometimes you have to scare the tail a little bit, like get
Yeah.
them
The fast
thinking
bowlers are
about
not doing
things.
that.
Our fast
They're
bowlers
not
are
going to
just
scale
so,
it.
so friendly, and
Yeah. Yeah.
so
We
yeah.
should make sure.
Go ahead.
We should bring Shoaib as our bowling coach. Yeah. To us, at least bring a little bit fire into the Shoaib Akhtar.
Like Shoaib, Wasim, Waqar, even Akib used to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Although he was a friendly pace bowler, right? They used to be also aggressive. I don't know, have they changed their diet or what's happened? Uh, but it's just like that they are just like smiling all the time. I found a little bit of aggression from Muhammad Ali also in the game. Abbas, although he's such a
Yeah.
friendly pace, I saw him
Yes.
being aggressive also.
Yeah.
But
There's
what was
hope.
your thought on him? Them dropping Abbas in the second test, I was like, okay, this is a serious mistake they've made.
Yeah.
But they won. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, we discussed this on the group chat as well. I can understand Abbas needs to be the first name regardless of conditions. Abbas
Yeah,
needs to be the
regardless of
first
it.
name.
First name,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. As in, I couldn't
But yeah.
understand. If he was a little more outgoing, I would have made him captain. But Saska Wohani, his character is not there. So there
But
one other
he's
place.
got a big brain. He's got a seriously good brain on his
Yeah,
head,
he does.
on his shoulders, right? So yeah,
The other advantage of Sajid is that he gives you decent lower runs. As in we were talking about that we
exactly.
make only 8 runs per average. So I can go either way with Ali Usman and Sajid. The only reason I went with Ali Usman is
The
well,
left-handed,
it's not
right-handed.
left hand, right.
Yeah, I get.
The middle order is all right handers. Historically, they used to have quite a bit of left handers, but I think the team has evolved to the point where they're just all right handers. And the other place where I'm going to go against you is on Khurram Shahzad versus Ubaid Shah. Khurram is a very good bowler, but Khurram, Muhammad Ali, and Abbas, three of them are very similar bowlers. I'm hoping Ubaid can bring a little bit of point difference, provided he can get his pace up.
I mean, like we saw him. If he gets his pace up, I would also say Khurram Shahzad over Ubaid over Khurram
Yeah,
Shahzad. But we haven't seen that. And Muhammad Ali is different from these guys. He's he's back of a length bowler. He's
yeah, a little taller.
taller and faster. I mean, also what late 130s. Like it's really sad that as
Yeah,
Pakistanis
with
we have to be content with late
yeah,
130s. But it is what it is. Akib has promised us a miracle in the next 6 months. Let's see what happens. But
I believe nothing Akib Chavez says.
no, I think what's that other lanky bowler who didn't make it? They're talking about him. The
Not Mir
fast.
Hamza, right?
No, 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 no. The really fast bowler who
Shahnaz
replaced
Doan.
Nahid Rana, in the team
Oh,
of Peshawar.
Ali Raza. No, Ali Raza is
Ali
not.
Raza.
Ali Raza, okay.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
he has
So they're
pace.
talking. Yeah, he has. I mean, but all these guys have pace when they play in the PSL. But when they play in a Test match, like Muhammad Ali is over 140 in the PSL.
Yeah.
He yeah, he bowls at over 140.
Yes.
So I don't consider when you say so Muhammad Ali can bowl at 140. So I don't
Yeah.
consider it the same as Abbas and Khurram Shahzad. But yes, Abbas and Khurram
True. Fair
Shahzad are quite.
enough. Yeah. That's a tough one. As in, I really. So we our bowling stocks are extremely low, right? Especially with the form of Shaheen and Naseem. We had such high hopes when 5-6 years ago that these guys are going to take us. Him and the two of them plus Haris Roof. When they burst into the scene, the three of them at
Man,
their peak. Hasnain. As in, there was that period around 2021, 22, where things were looking so good. Saud Shakila just made it to the squad, and he was
yeah,
averaging 50. Abdullah Shafiq was doing so well. Babar was at peak. Then we're looking at a bowling line that Shaheen, Naseem, with supported by possibly Rauf or Hasnan or
And the
Abrar.
Abrar had
Yeah,
just burst on the scene with his mystery spin, and you're like, okay, we've got the spinner sorted, we've got the batting line. So for the first time in our lives, confident about the batting lineup, and then maybe like in that South Africa West Indies series and South Africa series, Shaheen bowled really well. This is now I'm talking slightly earlier
yeah,
than 2021. Shaheen bowled, had fifers and stuff like that, right? So you're like, okay, he's not a one-track pony. He's got
yeah,
the red ball also sorted, because it's much harder to take wickets in red ball. Oh,
yeah,
everybody knows that, right? Like, and Shaheen basically had one ball that he was
yeah,
bowling, but he got wickets there with bouncers and stuff like
yeah.
that. So he was aggressive. He was good. Don't know what happened. I think that after that injury, he never recovered.
Yeah, that injury, but Naseem also had a shoulder injury. This is a combination. If they're not willing to go and play red ball cricket, first class cricket, and it's going to play every T20 league, Canadian T20 league, then there's the Sri Lankan T20 league, they all go and play that, then you're not going to be able to succeed at the highest level. They're not good enough. They're not like the Mitchell Starks and the Cummins of the world where they can go straight from a white ball series into a test series and not miss a beat. Um, but
Yeah,
the other
like that comedian says. I mean, they've just become like brand ambassadors. Naseem became the favorite of all the brands. Every TV ad commercial he was in, he thought he was like a superstar, and now he can't find himself in the red ball. Also, I think he will not find himself in the one day team that's going to be like featuring very soon.
yeah,
T20, just leagues.
yeah,
So all of that is, and that spell he did against Stokes in the World Cup final, that was an amazing spell of fast bowling.
yeah.
Stokes couldn't get bat on it on the ball. He could not touch the ball. Every ball, same place, outswing. Stokes couldn't touch it. Like it was four or five dot balls at that stage of
Yeah.
the game. I was like, we never saw that again.
And then you look at Haris Rauf, who gets tonked every time he gets the ball in his hand.
Yeah. No, Haris Rauf, I think very early on had told you that I'm not red
Don't
ball.
play. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
in
not red
white
ball.
ball, whenever he comes on to when bowled
Yeah.
now, what Kohli has done to him was never. I'm never going to be able to get that in mind. The
Yeah.
only other
So,
place, just going back to the 11, is where depending on the condition, if it's going to be a dryish condition, I'll go with Salman Aga, otherwise Amar Jamal. So that is condition dependent on the morning.
so you're bringing in Agha and Saud as
Yes,
Agha as a spinning all-rounder.
yes, that's seven. So four frontline bowlers plus Aga. Four frontline bowlers
So,
plus Aga or Amir, depending on the conditions.
so Agha and Amir, in your opinion, are the same level of bowling, but one is for dry and one is for.
Not necessarily. I would think
You're basically playing a
Salman Aga.
batsman instead of an all-rounder.
No, I would say that Salman. No, no, I have my all rounder in Aga Salman. I think Aga Salman is a better batter than a bowler, versus Amir Jamal is probably a better bowler than a batter.
Yeah.
Bowling all rounder versus the batting all rounder. Aga Salman has his form has been poor last
Yeah,
few
exactly.
months, but these are the resources we have. If I look at the squad that we have, and there's not a line of players sitting in Pakistan who are knocking on the door, trying to force their way in. Based on the resources we have, at seven, I'm going Salman Aga. If my theory of that is conditions are going to be dry and it's going to take spin, but if they turn out it's a typical historical Leeds wicket, then you go with Amr Jamal. So you have Ali Usman plus three fast bowlers and Amr Jamal as your bowling or fast bowling order, or you go with three frontline quicks. Ali Usman gives the ball that goes away from the right hander, and then Salman Aga brings the ball in or takes it away from the left hander.
Yeah, and by the way, Amir Jamal did the job of like the enforcer in Australia. So a lot of short bowling, right?
Yeah,
So he can do that, and the other none of the other bowlers can do that. So that, but you picked Ubaid over, so Ubaid can potentially do that, of course.
Yeah.
So that's why it's quite balanced, that both our sides are balanced in that way, that we
Hmm.
at least have one enforcer in
In
the,
theory.
in theory,
Yeah.
theoretical enforcer.
As other than after that Australia series, have you seen Amr Jamal do that?
No,
West
no.
Indies, there were a couple of balls he went to 138, 139, but most of his spell was early 130s, maybe even late 120s.
Yeah, no, I don't understand what happened to Muhammad Ali, Ubaid, and Amir Jamal. I don't understand what happened to them. We already know what that Abbas bowls at 125,
Yeah.
or 123 or whatever, right? We already know that. This is not like a shock
Yeah.
for us. But and we already know Khurram Shahzad, late 120s, right? Or early
Yeah.
130s. So these are known facts. But we took three fast bowlers with us, proper fast bowlers with us. And although Mohammad Ali did really well, and they loved in West Indies, they loved his attitude, they loved his, how he worked hard, how he just kept at it, and
Yeah.
all of that. More than Abbas, they loved him, his attitude,
Yeah.
right? So, but like, I don't get it. Like, I really want somebody like to tell me what happened to their pace. Like, actually tell me, because just a month ago, in fact, they are picked for that reason, right?
Yeah.
So just a month ago, they were a few months ago in the PSL, they were bowling at these speeds, and what
Yeah.
happened in this camp that they went to just before the Test series? I don't know.
So Muhammad Ali, yes, he in PSL he goes 140 plus, but the first time he burst into the scene was in the Test squad when he made his debut, and at that point he was already bowling mid 130s. So in my mind, he's always been a mid 130s bowler, even though in PSL he cranks it up. But Ubaid should be mid 140s. Amr
Yeah,
Jamal is supposed to be high, early
early
140s, mid 140s.
early 40s. Yeah, yeah.
Naseem is supposed to be a 150 bowler, but he was playing. I saw this a little bit of yesterday at the game, this President Cup that they've slotted in. He was bowling slower one after slower one. He was bowling six slower ones in a row and getting topped. At first over went for 15, next over went for like 10, and he was bored. He was hit out of the attack.
Kudos to you for watching that.
And nothing else on, so I watched 20 minutes of it and then I got depressed.
No, no. Yeah, no. So I don't get it. I don't get what's happened. And we like we've never had a bowler. We've never had a time after, let's say, the early 80s, after Imran Khan burst onto the scene. We've never had a time when we haven't had a 140 bowler.
Oh,
So
you're
very
forgetting that
sad.
phase after Amir and Asif got banned, and then when Shoaib retired, there was a phase where our bowling lineup, the 2015 World Cup, was Ehsan Adil, Sohail
No,
Khan,
we had that guy, जो आजकल
Wahab,
minister से Wahab, right? So
Wahab,
Wahab
yeah.
was one. Wow.
Wahab was one bowler, yeah. And so, but we were playing in Wahab didn't play too much Test cricket. We were playing in UAE with Rahat, the really tall Irfan. He played a few tests.
Junaid was fast, was quick also.
Junaid was
But you're
fast
right.
at the start,
Yeah,
yes.
but yeah. Junaid Khan was there.
Yeah,
I saw some recent highlights of
yeah, he was good.
the
Yeah,
golden
from his
age
ag,
of
yeah,
Misbah.
yeah. But there was a dark, depressing phase where Rahat Ali was our all format bowler, and no offense to Rahat Ali because he did very well in UAE. Given you would think that his style of bowling wouldn't be, but he was very effective,
He
keeping
dropped that catch in what was it, Perth, or no? It wasn't
Brisbane
Perth. It
Brothers.
was,
Shane Watson.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Shane Watson catch. I'll never forgive
Yes.
him for that.
On that happy note, I think that's a good point to end this episode. So we have to hope for the best and expect the worst
Yeah.
for the 18th.
No, so yeah, but honestly speaking, like part of me wants Pakistan, like all of me wants Pakistan to win, but realistically, I think that if Pakistan wins one Test match, it would be against odds. Like I don't think if we looked at the odds, they're in favor of us winning even one match. But the key is Not the wickets this time. It's about the batting. The batting has to click every time, and we cannot have that session where we lose 4 wickets
Yeah.
for 10 runs or whatever. We can't just that cannot that has to be avoided, even if it's a tail.
Yeah.
You know,
Our captain, who has not scored a century for nearly 4 years, has to come to the party.
he has to come to the party. But I think this whole century thing. Let's not get like. It's not a big deal. Like if he gets 90s, I'm fine with that.
90s don't win you matches. You need the
Yeah.
what
No.
Graham Gooch calls the daddy hundreds. You need the 150s. You need the 160s, 70s. But in Abdullah Shafiq, I trust.
Yeah. एक मैच के बाद.
I
No,
no
but
actually
actually, he's got the
I'm
most hundreds. You know, he's got the
yeah.
most hundreds since he made his debut.
I didn't know
Uh,
that, but I'm not surprised.
yeah.
Yes, he had a long lean spell,
No, but
but I'm a
despite
fan of
that,
him.
since he made his
Yeah.
debut, he's made 600s and Babar has made 4. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm very glad that he's back. I understood why he was dropped. I was really hoping that they would persist with him when he got dropped because he went through a very long lean spell.
yeah.
Really glad to see him back because he's
There's some
technically
rumor
such a
that
beautiful.
he got dropped because of white ball, like one-day cricket or something. Lean patch in one-day
Yeah.
cricket. There was a lot of people saying that. Uh, that was going around a lot, by the way. I don't know if you heard that because I didn't actually check on it, but
As in,
that's what.
I remember he had a lean patch across all formats that he also within test he there was a lean patch where he just wasn't scoring. If you look at his average for the last 2 years, it's probably 20s. So he was on merit dropped. On potential, I would have stuck with him, but maybe it wasn't a bad thing. Out of the limelight, because he got dropped all formats, he wasn't being picked up by these random T20 leagues, and he had no choice but to go and play red ball cricket, and that
Yeah.
is hopefully that's going to work wonders. Famous
He
last
dropped a
words. I
couple
say
of
this.
he dropped a couple of sitters in the slips,
Yeah.
which I think was really bad for his confidence. Also, you could see that that had an impact on him. Just a couple of catches can change the course of your life in a way like that. So yeah,
Let's throw him at fine leg. Let's not keep him slip.
I agree with that. No, we have good slip fielders in Agha, Saud Shakil. These guys, they're good slip fielders.
Barber is also against space. He's a good
Babar's also,
slip
yeah,
fielder.
Babar's good. Yeah, Babar's good.
Okay. On that note, I think it's a good point to end the episode here. Abid, thank you so much for joining. Really look
Thank you.
forward to the test series. And for everyone who dialed in, if you like this episode, please hit a like. If you like the style of content, please hit a subscribe. Thank you very much.
Thank you.